In this moment, Ukrainian has a second chance in 10 years to be independent and democratic.
And I understand that to change the system requires your personal involvement, your personal passion. You have to run and you have to take responsibility.
The responsibility for this choice is shared among all Ukrainian citizens. Even me, I'm responsible as well.
When Euromaidan started, everyone, including perhaps the protesters on the square, thought that it might be a short protest.
It took a lot of courage to confront authoritarian rule. It took courage to participate in a demonstration.
A whole community was created. Food was provided. There were legal services and medical services, religious services, kind of a civil society that was created there. The demonstrations were peaceful until there were attempts by the government to clear the square. There was beating of protesters. Water cannons were being used as a way to freeze people off the square. Then ammunition was used, rubber bullets and live bullets. More than 100 Ukrainians were killed in the course of the protests, most of them in the last days before the Yanukovych government fell. A new country, a new Ukraine was born there.
Many of the protesters realized that in order to sustain democratic change, that they had to join political parties, they had to run for office, and they had to help govern their country.
Before Euromaidan, I was political, but not politician. Ukraine, before Euromaidan, it's not independent country. It's colony of Putin.
Є така відповідальна справа у громадянина. Ну, хто відчуває себе громадянином, хто відчуває себе тою людиною, від якої тут щось залежить. Є така відповідальна справа обирати владу. Вона з неба не падає.
If we use this change, Ukrainian state will be independent, but is not. Ukrainian will be destroyed.
For me, this was a very important moment in my life because I realized that I'm ready to sacrifice my life for Ukraine. В якийсь момент я зрозумів, що немає просто морального права стояти зі сторони. Тобто гідні люди не повинні боятися цієї брудноти політики. Вони повинні брати на себе відповідальність, жертвуючи своїм часом. I wasn't 100% sure that I'm ready for the politics in Ukraine because I had no experience and when I look at my 3.5-year-old daughter, I understand that this is not my decision. This is my obligations and responsibility to run in these parliamentary elections. And it's really very important for Ukraine not to blame somebody or Putin or former regime of Yanukovych. No, we have to stop blaming somebody. We have to start working hard and be very smart and not waste our time on some talking.
And now, in the year 2014, they got their chance. Або на парламентських виборах за партію регіонів. Тому треба цю відповідальність ділити всім. І мені в тому числі, тому що кожен громадянин, коли йде на вибори, він робить вибір, який визначає не лише, знаєте, там, долю одного політика, він робить вибір, який визначає долю всієї країни. During Maidan, people demonstrated absolutely new quality of thinking, of understanding the processes in politics. And I can say that it was like born of civil society in some sense in Ukraine.
took a tremendous amount of courage and resolve to make the decision to go into politics.
Despite the challenges of foreign occupation of territory, despite the ongoing conflict of Russian-backed separatists, this is perhaps the last best chance for the country to secure genuine, long-lasting democratic change.
I'm optimistic because momentum from society is very strong, and people are not going to tolerate the bad behavior of politicians anymore.
Many people who was passive to be activist.
This is just the start, the first step of building the new Ukraine. There is a hope in Ukraine. This is the new generation of state builders and change makers.